Good evening. My name is Lisa Alfa. I'll be speaking on the Harlem Renaissance. The term Renaissance derives from Latin meaning be born again, rise again, to be renewed. The Harlem Renaissance was perceived as a new beginning for African Americans and a period of intellectual growth which inspired African American authors, artists, and musicians. In 1914, only about 50,000 African Americans called Harlem their home. By 1930, Harlem had grown to a population of 200,000. The migration is referred to as the Great Migration and began during World War I. The political leaders of the Harlem Renaissance included civil rights activists such as Allen Leroy Locke. He was considered the father of the Harlem Renaissance. Madam C.J. Walker, Marcus Garvey, and many more. Jazz music became popular during the Harlem Renaissance. It is often referred to as the Jazz Age. Popular jazz musicians include Louis Armstrong, Josephine Baker, Dizzy Gillespie, and Count Basie. Writers during the Harlem Renaissance that contribute to the four publications central to the movement were referred to as the Harlem Renaissance writers. The four publications included Opportunity, The Negro World, The Messenger, and The Crisis. African American sports became popular during the Harlem Renaissance. Leagues were founded because of the fact that whites did not allow African Americans to play in their leagues. The famous New York Harlem Globetrotters was founded in 1927. Thanks to the Harlem Renaissance, music industry in New York became centered in the Tin Pan Alley. The Cotton Club was Harlem's most famous nightclub. Langston Hughes was a famous poet in the Harlem Renaissance, responsible for writing the pieces The Negro Speaks of Rivers, I Too, and The Weary Blues. Hughes became known as the poet of Harlem for his work. Art styles became popular during the Harlem Renaissance, included Art Deco, Surrealism, and Impressionism. Artists that emerged during the Harlem Renaissance included Jacob Lawrence, Norman Lewis, and Aaron Douglas. Some of the notable books that were written during the Harlem Renaissance by authors of this time included Home to Harlem by Claude McKay and Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston. The men's suits were called zoot suits. They became fashionable during the Harlem Renaissance. This included wearing baggy pants and fedora hats. They also wore bow ties and handkerchiefs. Women fashion in the Harlem Renaissance included flapper-style dresses, long gloves, long beaded necklaces, and feather headbands. During the day, they wore more conservative day dresses and hats. Grab the broom of anger and drive off the beast of fear. This is a famous quote from